Here for the off night with Mark Sweetman and gang. Welcome to the off night. I'm Susan, and Mark's going to do my poem tonight. I'm just going to sit here in the dark. Come on, Mark.
I guess the music didn't work, so I did something wrong with the music. So, well, thank you for the. Oh, I see what I did. All right, this really does take a person who's off camera and doing all the technical stuff. All right, but we are live, so thank you very much for that introduction, Susan.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing my poem tonight. I wrote it, but you're going to read it.
All right, here it is. The poem by Susan Sweetman. Every week now, if you haven't been on our show or watched our show, she writes a topical poem about the news headlines, keeps it to a couple of lines each. So here's this week's poem. Ryan O'Neal died and moved on to that paper moon in the sky. Not my favorite actor, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin McCarthy announced recently he plans to retire. Would you want to keep him? Would you want to rehire? Senator Tuberville of Alabama withdrew his military blockade. Does he think his agenda deserves some kind of parade? Sandra Day O'Connor died on December 1st. She was a good judge, certainly not the worst. First Supreme Court female First female on the Supreme Court. I guess he was a Supreme Court female. Okay, first Supreme Court female justice when Reagan was pres. Got the Medal of Freedom for all she did, Obama says. And that's the poem. How about that? You think that would happen today, Susan, that the president from another party of the nominee would actually give them the presidential Medal of Freedom?
I think that she deserved it. And Obama was all kinds of awesome. So
I'm not saying she didn't deserve it. I'm just saying, can you see Trump giving
no.
one of Obama or one of Biden's appointees
speaks to what an awesome president Obama was. I think it says more about him than about her.
You want it now? You can't stay for the whole show. You want to tell them what you're doing tonight? She's in transit right now.
A service of remembrance with Livonia Civic Chorus, and then we have a great big concert on the 17th at Christ Our Savior Lutheran Church is hosting we're doing both secular and sacred music, and doing a big concert 3 p.m. Sunday the 17th of December, Livonia, Michigan. At the venue is Christ Our Savior Lutheran Church on Farmington Road in Livonia, Michigan.
The time?
3 p.m.
All right, and that's this Sunday.
December 17th, 3 p.m. concert. And you're going to be there, Mark.
Yeah, you know, but thank you for giving me a choice. I appreciate that.
Bought you a ticket. You're going. It's $15. Tickets are available at the door. But don't worry, we won't sell out. But you can hear me sing. You can hear me play my beautiful flute. And
so you're not going to sell it. So basically, it's the Unclub of Christmas concerts, is what you're saying.
It is the Livonia Civic Chorus. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We do concerts all over the place. Tonight was a service of remembrance for people who have lost loved ones. Didn't have to be this year, but primarily people who have recently lost a loved one or in the year 2023. And they do a candlelight service, and our choir sang 4 numbers for this service. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you for reading my poem. Maybe next time read it ahead of time so you don't stumble on the words. Bring in your other people. I gotta go. Bye.
All right, bye. Thanks. Thank you. Always appreciate it. All right. And all right, so that's my lovely bride and show poet. Now let's bring out our regulars, our crew of regulars here from New York City. Here's our favorite curmudgeon, Sam Greenfield. Hey, Sam, how's it going?
Let me just say this. The guy was offsides. The referee threw a flag. Stop complaining. And also, let me say, when I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and
You're,
one other thing.
you're talking about Pat Mahomes, bitch?
Yeah, but let me say something. Do you know what would have ended all of this Sturm und Drang, all of it, if they had blown the play dead before it was executed?
Oh, yeah.
Then you wouldn't have. And by the way, I loved Mahomes and Andy Reid going, well, I've never seen a play like that in my life. So it the guy. But, oh, and also Mahomes saying, well, the referee should have told him he was offsides. Yeah, give him a warning. What are you talking about? You
Yeah,
know.
you know what? I'm sure Kelvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford are going, wah.
Everybody in the league was going, wah. Are you kidding? You're defending Super Bowl champs. You want to get mad at somebody? Get mad at the Dropsy twins who are trying to catch your football. Jesus.
Hey, our Lions are back. Some other team had been playing the games for most of the season. Now our good old Lions are back.
Oh, you mean losing?
The lovable losers. Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, they're still in first place, right?
Yeah, they're still 2 games ahead. The problem with being 2 games ahead for our championship is that we have 2 games for the second place team coming up.
Who's the second place team?
The Vikings.
You'll beat them. If you can score 4 points, you'll beat them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they got a good defense, but not very good offense. So
I told 3-0, right? That was the score, 3-0.
Yeah, they said that's the first time in 3 decades, and only the second time in league play that there's been a 3-0 game.
Can I tell you something?
What? You were at the
Washington,
other one. You say you're at the other one?
Washington had the other 3-0 game.
Oh, okay.
And Washington lost that game. It was Washington and the New York Jets, and the Jets kicked a field goal in like the first. By the way, you want to hear scintillating? The Jets kicked a field goal in the first 5 minutes, and that was it.
Well, at least this 3 points came in the 4th period. So
yeah, you see that? Like I kept looking at the score. I'm going, is there like a glitch in the reportage of this? And by the way, I also, not that anyone cares, but Washington, their coach was Richie Pettibone, and the Jets coach was Bruce Coslett. I firmly believe that game got them both fired.
That's not a very good score for football.
Well, Pettibone was in the unenviable position of having succeeded Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, that's true. That would not be easy.
And Coslett had the unfortunate position of being the coach of the Jets. So
the week before, the Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0. So that was only 1 field goal better,
Well, does the excitement ever start?
And I may have talked about it on the show before, but Iowa in the college ranks, if you had Michigan beat them in a shutout for the Big Ten championship, they didn't even score 1 point in the Michigan Iowa game for the Big Ten championship. But Iowa this year, they said if you had bet in all of their games, if you had bet the under, you would have won. And,
wow.
and they had one under that was like 26. So that means both teams had to score under 2 touchdowns.
Wait, let me interrupt you. Let's bring on the other guys.
Okay, sure. All right, here he is, the king of the rants, ladies and gentlemen. I know him as Jason Grant, and of course, we all know him as Jason Grant. Yeah, he's Jason Grant to everybody, right? Here he is.
Wow.
Hey,
no
guys.
wonder. I'm so glad I advertised this to my people. Hey, you want to see a smooth intro?
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth Intro was one of my favorite films from the 70s, but never mind that.
I thought that was Smooth Entry.
Well, spelling didn't matter that much. It was a different time, Sam. You no doubt remember.
I actually do, sadly.
And when it comes to blowing the dead, I know quite a bit about that too. But let's not bring my ex into this. I don't know what was the play yesterday. I didn't get to watch any football. What seems to be the big kerfuffle involving our dear friends, the Chiefs?
I will tell. Let's bring on Wesley if we could.
Yes.
Oh, sure. Also from our Unclubbed show on Sunday night, king of the one-liners, and yet I thought his best set yet last night. Here he is.
Oh, fantastic.
Wesley Partridge.
Wesley.
Hi.
Yeah, great
Jason,
show last night, Wes.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, forgive me. I will now explain
No.
what happened with the game.
Yes, please.
Okay. The score was 2017, the Bills. It was the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes threw a pass to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Kelce's running down the field. As he's running, he throws a pass across the field to a receiver, a legal pass, who runs it in for a touchdown, ostensibly winning the game. But no, the referee threw a flag. The flag was because one of the Chiefs was offsides, and the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes especially, went nuts. And the reason they went nuts was because they're bad sports. But the other reason they went nuts is because I personally have never seen a play where a offensive player was offsides. But the reason the guy was offsides was his foot was he lined up incorrectly. It was a penalty.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs were bitching like they had the guy had taken a bribe. I mean, he was offsides.
They should have blown the play dead.
Well, no.
If they had blown the play dead, we wouldn't be talking about it because it would have just been a penalty, or they would have started to,
I'll defend the referee on this one, because when they blow the play dead, it's usually for an illegal procedure where they step over the line. Yeah,
right.
That's different than lining up. The referee's giving them every chance to get back over the back.
That's true.
Line.
And also,
so that now the flag gets thrown at that point, but they don't whistle it dead unless the play had started without the ball moving.
Okay.
Yeah, if the defense was offsides, they would have let the play go and then called offsides. So the referee acted. The problem is that the player was offsides, and the Chiefs are going like, well, they should have warned him. What? Huh? Listen.
I tell you, Sam, that's another one of those. Even if they had thrown the flag and stopped the play, that's one of those plays where they clock off 10 seconds.
That's right.
I mean, if they enforce the penalty, they count off 10 seconds, because they don't want somebody penalizing themselves in order to stop the clock. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because teams had figured out how to play that one, where they would purposely commit a penalty to stop the clock.
Or as Sam Greenfield puts it, quit your bitching, bonehead. You lost.
Allow us to call you a wambulance. Yeah.
Wham. No, well, what was the one I saw? Do you want any cheese with that wine?
So anyway, I didn't see the second half of the Lions game yesterday because I had to attend.
Lucky you.
Nothing. Yeah.
I had to attend one of my wife's concerts, and she's making me attend another one next week. Yeah, whatever.
You notice he didn't say I saw my wife's concert. He said I had to.
Yeah, small price to. Well, once I've seen them already this season. Plus I've picked her up at rehearsal, so I've seen like the second half of the show at least 8 times.
Pretty brave when she's not here. That's all I got.
I'm all talk when she's not here.
I dragged my ass to that crap. Oh, hi, honey.
honey. Yeah, listen.
I said crap in the nicest way. When I said I'd rather die than be there, what I meant was
what I was trying to say. That you see, out of context, that sounds.
You know what though? Here I'm going to excuse for what I just said.
Yeah, good luck with that.
She is not the one I mind watching. It's like when I watched my kids play t-ball. I was all right with my kid batting. It's the other 30 kids you had to watch get up to them and whiff at the ball.
Yeah, but what was with the booing, Mark? What was that? Come on.
I turned to my wife one time, and I thought I was being, because I'm coaching by the time my kid got to high school. I'm coaching the team now. And we're having games that were like 1-0, 2-1. I mean, real baseball. You know what I mean? Kids turning double plays and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. And so I turned to my wife and I said, "See, I told you it would get better." You know.
Well, that's like the one about the woman who goes to a game, and her boyfriend's waiting for her. She's an hour and a half late. An hour, and he's waiting for her outside the stadium. He can't go in. So they go in, and he's really ticked off. And she says, what's the matter? What's this? The guy's pitching a perfect game. It's 0-0. Well, see, we didn't miss anything.
Oh, man. Hey, Andy's here. I'm going to let him in.
Why? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, why? What's the deal? Oh, hi,
Hi,
Andy.
ho, ho, ho.
Hey, there he is.
Andy,
Hi,
you
guys.
look like a cast member of The Thing.
That's right. I'm the dog. The dog just came and barked at me, you know?
Oh God,
He's
that
the
movie was
thing. If
disturbing.
the Thing was a Lions fan, he's got.
I told
Lions
you that's
fans.
one of the greatest jokes I've ever heard in my life, and it was such a simple joke. Bob Shaw, he goes, "Did you ever see the movie The Thing? You got 6 Nobel-winning prize scientists, 6 of them, right? Nobel prize-winning scientists, and there's an ectoplasm in their midst, and they go, what is it? What is it? It's a thing. It's a big fucking thing."
Oh, God bless Bob Shaw. What a great
shit.
comic he was.
Is he dead?
Hey,
Bob Shaw's gone. I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
speaking of the dearly departed, Ryan O'Neal shuffled off this mortal coil,
Oh,
which
wow.
A
leads
hot-tempered Irishman.
leaves us to ponder: what was his greatest film? Was it Barry Lyndon? Was it Paper Moon? Was it What's Up, Doc?
I think it was
Probably,
Paper Moon.
Yeah,
I would say Paper Moon too. Oh, but
I love Barry
not-
Lyndon.
we
Not
can't.
not the one about love?
About who? Love Story?
Love Story.
God,
Yeah,
he was in
maudlin
Love
horseshit.
Story.
No.
Oh my
Please.
God!
He was in Love Story. Yeah, that's
Who
the only
was
one. That's his only nomination was for Love Story.
You're
Yeah.
kidding me!
He didn't even get nominated for Paper Moon.
Da 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 da
Oh my
da. That's
God.
crap.
Paper Moon. There was a great. That was like Bogdanovich's last great film, wasn't it? Didn't he sort of like?
No, he
Yeah.
did.
He did To
Bogdanovich-
Live and Die in L.A.
No,
Oh,
you're not.
no,
You're thinking of
that
somebody
was
else.
that was Friedkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bogdanovich did What's Up, Doc. He did.
Well, he did
Last
Paper
Picture
Moon.
Show.
He did Paper Moon. That's right.
Last
Oh,
Picture Show.
but who did the baseball one with Walter Matthau and
Bad
and
News
Ron-
Bears?
yeah, Bad News Bears. Was that Bogdanovich?
I don't think so.
No.
My favorite line in Paper Moon is when, what's her name? Madeline Kahn comes along.
Oh God.
And she's got this little black girl who is her assistant, right? And she meets Tatum O'Neal, and Madeline Kahn is hitting on her, about hitting on Ryan O'Neal. And as they walk away, the little black girl says to Tatum O'Neal, "I tried to push out a window in St. Louis." Oh God.
Oh yeah, we don't have that kind of witty repartee in the films these days, I'm afraid.
And Tatum O'Neal won an Oscar for that, the youngest Oscar winner until
Well, Jodie Foster, did she win for
She was an
Taxi
adult
Driver?
no, she was an adult. No, she did not.
adult.
She was nominated.
Okay.
No, she won. No, she won for Silence of the Lambs.
She won for The Accused, and
Yeah.
she won for Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, exactly. I always wanted an accused pinball machine at the house, but never could. I never could get the DNA thing to light up the way I wanted it to. So there you go. Funny you should mention that, Andy. But yeah, was I the only one when I saw Taxi Driver? I was 14 years old. I was legally too young to see the movie. It was an R-rated film, and it deserved to be R-rated. It's
Sure
not a
did.
kid movie. And I got to tell you, the first time, and I didn't even know who Harvey Keitel was, but when he starts running down, because he plays the pimp, and he also played Colonel Willard for about 2 weeks in Apocalypse Now before they recast him. But never mind that. it was actually one of those movies that, like, I was kind of like weirded out for weeks after that because it was a little more than my tender sensibilities was ready for. And I think I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I figured, oh, everyone's seen this movie; it's going to be great. And at the end of it, I'm like, oh boy, maybe I made a mistake.
You could smell the evil in that movie.
Yes, Scorsese in his famous cameo where he's sitting in back and using language that we do not use these days, to say things about his wife while she's upstairs with her paramour.
Scorsese.
Yeah, he's in the back seat talking about how he's going to end his wife because she's upstairs with an African American. Only he's not saying African American because this is
and Albert Brooks was in that movie,
isn't he? And he's fantastic as the campaign manager,
campaign guy.
Has anybody seen Albert Brooks's documentary?
No.
Say again.
It's great. It just came out. 23. Albert Brooks, Defending My Life.
Yes.
You can find it. It's fantastic.
He's always been someone who's been too hip for the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he is hip.
But he never actually did his comedy. He was all just right there. He never really had tested it. He just put it right on TV. You know
what movie of his I can watch over and over again?
Lost in America.
Mother.
Yeah, Mother is great.
I tell you what, I this can never be repeated because my mom's passed away, but I saw Mother with my mother, and it was one of the best movie going experiences I have ever had.
The
nice.
Protective Ice is the best line ever, you know?
I think the best thing about Mother was that you had Rob Morrow, who's Jewish.
Yeah.
And you had Albert Brooks, who is Jewish, and they got Debbie Reynolds as the mother, who is shiksa to her bones. I mean,
she was so great, though.
Oh my favorite thing in that movie is just one line: is when they go into the parking lot at the shop at the mall, and she won't take the ticket, and the guy behind her, you can see him, he's like going crazy, and Albert Brooks goes, "Take the ticket."
Take the ticket, yeah.
And one of my favorite actresses who no one knows was in that movie at the very end, Rosalind Ingledew.
Okay.
She played the one that she saw him at the gas station.
Oh yeah, and she knew about his writing.
She read his books.
Yeah.
And he had such a great idea. He said, "I got an idea. Are you going down to LA? Me too. Why don't we go drive to? I'll follow you. You follow me, and we'll stop along the way. We'll eat, and it'll be like 5 dates."
It'd be like 5 dates. There we go. Yeah.
When you're someone like Brooks, though, you're the director, you're the actor. Who is actually directing you? I mean, do you really have to have a good idea of what you actually want and can do? I mean, because again, with when you're a film actor, you know a director can have you do it several different ways. I mean,
well, Bill Russell played and coached the Celtics to a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
three of them.
Yeah. God, there's another.
No, but I don't think he was the player coach in the other two.
Oh, I think he was. I think he was. I think he was player coach for his last 3 seasons. I think.
Well, if he said he wouldn't
watch
the documentary. Albert Brooks talks about working with Scorsese in the first film, and using him as an example of how to be a director.
Wow,
and he learned so much from that. I mean, it was his first film, really, that he did.
I did background on Boardwalk Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And let me tell you what I learned about Scorsese. You do not talk unless he tells you to talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, somebody can yell, "All right, cut." You still don't talk. I saw a background person being told, "You can leave now." Just canned him, And the guy said to me, "What went wrong?" And I just stared at him. And afterwards, a few days later, he said, "Why didn't you say anything?" I said, "Why didn't I say anything? Why were you let go?" "Because I talked." I said, do you have to answer that question again or ask that question again? You're told not to talk. Why did you talk?
So when you're doing background, Sam, is Scorsese the one giving you direction, or does he
No,
have an
absolutely
AD,
not. No.
a second unit
There's
or
two
something like that?
there's two assistant directors, and I'll tell you something that I never knew, which was I always assumed that if you were second assistant director or first assistant director, that your goal was to be a director. But I
Right.
was told that that's their job. That's what they do. They're
That's the
fine with
thing.
that. I mean, not everybody, but
Well, it makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're
you know,
one of the films that has always fascinated me was, of course, the wedding scene in The Godfather. Now, again, I don't imagine that Coppola was directing that, but I mean that some of the coverage and all that's a beautifully shot, beautifully executed scene. It sets the whole damn movie.
and may he be may you have many children, and may the first one be a masculine one.
child. Yeah.
Lenny Montana.
But that gave Coppola the freedom to do that scene to really get that scene right, while everyone else is out there dancing and drinking the wine, and
They fought him tooth. The studios fought him tooth and nail. They didn't like his casting. They didn't want Brando.
Robert
they
Redford
fought
was
him to the death on everything.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have seen the miniseries with
Yeah.
Did Robert Evans come through? Because Evans has come off for over years saying that basically he's the guy who maneuvered that movie through the background. He was the studio.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the reason it got made, because he went to the mat for Coppola.
Right.
The director can only do so much. Evans was a studio guy.
Right.
And, probably all the arguing he was doing, he ignored the fact that his wife was getting banged by Steve McQueen. So,
well, no, that's a good thing, though, right?
Steve McQueen once said, "The purpose of a wife is to have dinner ready when I get home." In case you were wondering what the definition of pig is.
There you
go. Oh my God. The Rolling Stones have a song about groupies and whatnot, but one of the lines in the song "Star Star," which in England they call it "Star Fucker," is Ally McGraw got mad at y'all for giving head to Steve McQueen. And it's a wonderful.
There was a Canadian comic, I can't remember his name, but I worked with this guy when I was doing that little Canadian tour, and he said, this is it. He said, the movie, not the movie, what is it? Trivial Pursuit. That's it. Was invented by Canadians.
Right.
And that one of the questions that he said he read on it was, what president of the United States' wife was pregnant when they got married? And the answer is Nancy Reagan.
No, okay. Well,
she was and I think that's very unfair. I mean, how would us Canadians like it if the question was, what prime minister's wife was banging Mick Jagger?
Oh God. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Coppola did the score. He did the screenplay for Patton. He didn't want to do it, but they
won the Oscar.
Won the Oscar for it, and that gave him the leverage to get The Godfather. To get that rolling. But the reason he did that is because he wanted to do The Conversation, which is a movie that kind of gets lost, but is a terrific movie.
Nominated for Best Movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're expecting a movie like The Godfather, you're not going to get it. You will get Gene
That
Hackman.
movie, you talk about unusual. Cindy Williams was in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. And Harrison Ford.
And Robert Duvall and Frederick Forrest.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. I mean, John Zale, if that's what you say his
John
name.
Cazale.
Cazale, thank you.
Made 5 movies. They were all nominated for Best Picture.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very
The Conversation, Godfather, Godfather 2, Deer Hunter, and the one with
Dog Day Journey,
Dog Day Afternoon. Dog Day Afternoon.
So he's a good luck charm. That's what you're saying.
Except for himself, he died at 42.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop smoking. His girlfriend was Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, yeah.
And she took 6 months out of her career at a time when, she didn't have the career she has now, to care for him.
Right.
Oh.
And Ted Koppel, when he was an up-and-coming broadcaster, quit his job for 6 months to take care of their children while his wife was studying for the bar.
Oh wow.
Nice. Well, at least she didn't dump him like was it Senator Warren did when she got rid of her first husband to marry the second one, the one she's presently she was married to a plumber who helped get her through law school, and then after that she couldn't dump him fast enough.
Who is this?
Elizabeth Warren did that?
Yes, she did. That'd
Yeah,
be
but at
Senator
least
Hiawatha.
she sent him a nice note. Dear Sap.
Hey, I read about this. The lady who inspired Elton John's song "Someone Saved My Life Tonight," Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics.
Renata.
It was about, yeah, but you know what? She came to live in the United States and had a couple of this and that. But at any rate, she got to a point where she needed money for a surgery and she couldn't find it.
And he paid for it.
Yeah, she reached out to him and he's like, "No problem. We'll get it all straightened out."
Yeah, he sure did. Well, there's nothing in Elton John's behavior towards other people that would convince you. You know, one of the things that amazed me about him was you know how long he's known Bernie Taupin for, like over 50 years.
Oh yeah.
And he said, "You may not believe this, but I swear this on the life of my children. Bernie and I have never had one cross word, not one, ever."
Yeah.
You know, and I believe it. You know, did you ever see the documentary about Elton John, Tiaras and Tantrums?
No, but it's got to be amazing.
Well, one of the scenes is he had a place in Atlanta, which is, a lot of people don't know this, had a huge gay enclave.
Oh yeah.
In Georgia, and he's sitting there on his couch and he's going, "Sell this goddamn place. Sell it now. Sell it right now. I don't want to live here. I hate this place. I hate everything about it. God damn it." And so they talked to his body man, and they say, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, you're not going to believe it, but I'll tell you." He said he was playing tennis, you know, on his own tennis court, of course.
Of course.
And a guy walks by and goes, "Oh, it's Elton John." And that's the reason he got it. So then on the TV screen, it says 1/2 hour later, it goes, all right, fine, don't sell it. I'm just, you know, I'm a little upset. I got it. But he's supposed to be like a very generous, very nice guy. He wrote Philadelphia Freedom for Billie Jean King's tennis team.
And he bought Ryan White a Mustang, which, you know, I've heard of this guy being really hard on the crew, pardon that expression. But then again, you know, I mean, he wanted the performances right. He wanted the show to run right. I mean, when you're
I have no problem with him being demanding of his crew.
Yeah, and
he doesn't fire people willy-nilly, so no, it's fine.
His show was the last.
By the way, you know, if you know it going in, then you know how to deal with it.
Right. Yeah, Elton John's was the last show that Sue and I saw before the pandemic. So it was great.
One guy I've wanted to see all my life, never had a chance to. He was at Hill Auditorium once, and I missed him.
We had first row balcony at Little Caesars Arena, and his back was to us for every song. But after each song, he stood up and he bowed to the audience. And when he turned to his back, it was Susan and I that he was bowing to. At least we thought so anyway, because he would point at us and we'd wave back. We're like looking at everybody. Yeah, he knows us. Yeah,
I told Barbara that
our buddy Sir Elton.
I told Barbara.
You don't. Go ahead.
Real quick. I told Barbara that one of my favorite Billy Joel songs is "We Didn't Start the Fire," because I thought the lyrics were absolutely brilliant. She goes,
I
don't know. He goes, no. She says, no, I didn't like it that much. I said, well, I think it's great. And the next day, Billy Joel, I'm seeing him. I'm not in concert, but you know, I see him film with him in concert, and he goes, I don't know whatever made me decide to write that piece of shit. We didn't start the fire. He said, oh, Doris Day, Johnny Ray, please, who gives a shit? And I'm like, and I look at Barbara and I go, see?
That is so funny.
See? I told you.
That's on my semi bucket list. I guess I could call it. That's my fish basket list. So it's not one I have to, but I'd still like to see his show at Madison Square Gardens.
Well, he just ended his whatever they call it ship. He just had like a couple of years of working there, but I think it's over now.
Oh, did they end that? I thought it was just
Yeah.
going to go on. I thought it was going to go on forever. He
What
did
do they
one
call that when you
Oh, it's not a residency.
His residency.
But it's,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
artist in residence.
Artist in residence.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was playing Matt. He said I saw him on a news special or a news story about that, where he said it was like my office. He goes, they've got space for me where I keep stuff because I play here so often that it's become Madison Square Garden has become my office.
Well, you know, you see, in at Madison Square Garden, it's artist in residence. You see,
Okay.
when you do that in Vegas, it's I haven't worked in 5 years. Please come to this goddamn show.
Well, I'd like
You
to
know.
see. I've always thought that they used to have down at Fox a thing called the Motortown Review, which was mostly Motown, but they had other acts with them. Aretha wasn't a Motown act, and of course, Mitch Ryder and Bob Seger and all those people weren't Motown acts, but they would still play that show once in a while. I'd love to see that show come back because they have so much talent here that it would be.
I had a years ago. What was it? 1979. I'm dating this girl, and we went to see Bob Seger, and she said, and I'm and there was a reason I stopped seeing her, and it was not this specific reason, but this kind of inculcated the entire reason why. She said, I really hope he does not play Down Main Street. I hate that fucking song. I go,
Oh,
I happen to know that's one of Seeger's personal favorites. She goes,
yeah.
well, then we're going to go see an idiot. I go, he wrote it. He loves it. She goes, she said, I will boo. If you boo, I'm gone.
Oh.
I will literally get up and leave and say, the woman I was just sitting next to has a bomb. I swear. I swear to God.
She has a bomb.
And so she didn't boo. And the reason, get this, so we leave, and I go, I'm so glad you didn't boo. She goes, and she's staring at me. I go, why are you staring? She goes, you would have told him I had a bomb, didn't you? I said, no. She said, yes, you would, you little fucker. Yes, you would. You would have told them I had a bomb. I go, if you keep talking to me like this, I'm going to go back and tell them. And so I told a friend of mine about this, and he said, I'm going to tell you something. This is one of my best friends. He goes, I'm going to tell you something. When I saw you two together and I saw how you two interacted, he said, I always thought the last words you would ever hear are her telling the cops, so I stabbed him. She said, I have never seen two people a worse fit than you and her. And I said, well, why do you think we stayed together? He said, well, I'm going to tell you what I think, and you tell me if I'm right or not. And I go, okay. She's great in bed. I go, she is. And then he says, and that proves one of my theories. I said, what's that? He said, women who are fantastic in bed are insane.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's not necessarily, he said, I didn't say good. I said fantastic. Because that kind of wild, over the top, burn the sheets down kind of thing, that translates into the rest of their life. So you'll be sitting in a restaurant with her, and this woman will go, bitch, I ordered some food. It's the same over the top behavior. I said, well, no, she would never say that. That bitch, I would, but she wouldn't. So, because I'm a nasty little, so. But I thought Seeger was great.
Yeah.
He always
and that Main Street is about Ann Arbor. Always was sort of a nice thing, because there was a time when the Main Street in Ann Arbor. I mean, it was never dangerous, obviously, but I mean, we used to have a real hard segregation. So when you went on North Main, that was the black side of town, and that was the dangerous. And of course, that's where we all gravitated to, and that's where all the fun stuff happened. And over on the other side, that was a little more white bread.
Well, D.C., the nation's capital, was segregated up until my when I was in second grade. After second grade, it was desegregated. and the amusement parks were segregated. The swimming pool, this is DC, were segregated, you know. And the only place that I remember kids swimming, if you've ever been to Union Station in DC, there's this huge fountain with Christopher Columbus statues. And that's where black kids swam.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, isn't that there's a John Waters movie that is about the Sonny Bono plays the proprietor of a segregated amusement park.
Hairspray.
There you go. Thank you. I'm getting old. I can't remember anything anymore.
Good morning, Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly.
The John Waters story.
Yeah, and it had like Sonny Bono and Blondie. What's her name? Debbie
Harry.
Again. Although her.
Well, you know the version that Sonny Bono and Deborah Harry and Nikki Lake did. That wasn't the musical.
No, the musical was what's
John
her name?
John Travolta and
yes.
Trying to think of
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller, that was it.
John Travolta in the divine role, which I thought there you go. That's
Have you seen his Santa
I just
Claus?
like the fact he was he was fearless enough to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That.
Have you seen Travolta's Santa Claus?
What a great commercial.
That's a great commercial.
And you know who the woman is, right?
Donna Pesca.
Yeah.
Why do I know that name? What do I know her?
She was in Saturday Night Live with John Travolta.
That's the girl that all the guys did in the back seat.
Oh, gee, you see that? You see me being who I am. I wouldn't know that. That would be something that
Donna Pescow, yeah.
Yeah, that would.
That movie was 46 years ago. That's why.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher was in that movie.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher. Wow.
My president.
Yep, your president.
Your president.
My union president.
Hi.
So what was the final vote for the SAG-AFTRA?
78% voted yes.
You did better than UAW. UAW didn't even barely got to 60% for theirs.
Well, you know, the people who didn't vote to ratify. Let me put it this way: before that vote, background people were getting $116. Now they're getting $205
a day.
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
So you know, I there's one guy who I ran into. I never go to union meetings because it's just people who bitch. They just bitch. You know, they're not there. They're not there to find. You know, the other day I went to a shoot and the food, man, just shut the fuck up. You're getting paid to sit down. You're getting paid to walk. Please. You know, I say, and so you're getting paid. You know what somebody called background people, and they're right. They go, we're scenery with shoes.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was SAG-AFTRA. He said the term was camera wipe.
That's fine, but before they're paying you, I mean, and by the way, I did a Law and Order where I was on the jury, and it was a 16-hour shoot.
Oof.
The paycheck from that sustained me for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had, it was a 16. I had 14 cups of coffee. I just today stopped peeing.
Hey, so do they give you craft service when you're
Oh,
on
absolutely, sure.
Face. Look who's here.
Hello. Yay.
Yay.
Hey.
Hey.
This is my oldest daughter, Colleen. This is
Did
the guy.
Did you just wake up, Colleen?
No, but I'm tired.
Actually, this is her first day off. This is her only day off this week, right? Don't you work the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Busy time at Christmas. So.
What does she do?
She works in the prize room at Dave and Buster's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What a thrill that must be for her. Give me
the
she's been at it 4 years. The thrill is
give
gone.
me the tickets, you little bitch.
Come on. I want the tickets.
How come I didn't get more? Because you bowl like shit. That's why.
I tell you, that's not my.
Sam doesn't have Colleen's job.
That's not my favorite part of that place, though. I love the food they have there. I just wish it wasn't so noisy. I'd probably eat there more often.
We were going to have Cassie's bas mitzvah there until they quoted the price. And then we said, oh, no, that's okay. Can you give us a week so we can hold up a bank?
Has
It was
anybody heard about
expensive.
this Oakland place for Christmas?
Say that again.
Oakland Mall. This is a local place, but if you go to Oakland Mall, you pay $14, and they have all the Christmas scenes from all these different movies.
Oh,
There's
that's
like
cool.
4 different scenes, and at the end of it, you get the photo of Santa. But they have
Oh, that's
Nightmare
nice.
Before
That's very
Christmas.
clever.
Yeah,
Well, there's no stores in the malls anymore. You might as well do something with them.
Yeah, they just redid the empty Sears place and made it into this massive, scene stuff. They have actors playing different characters from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Union actors?
Union. I don't know if they're union or not. Probably non-union.
Edward G. Robinson in his final.
They're all in
green.
costume. They're all in costume. So
I was thinking we're in the dojo. We were talking about how in Detroit we know people that are in both UAW and SAG-AFTRA, and we're wondering if maybe they might merge because the UAW took over the casino workers union.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're all UAW members now.
Well, also UAW used to represent a lot of people at the broadcast stations.
Yes,
I don't know if they still do, but they used to.
Yeah, I think some they do. My wife had to change unions when. Who turned?
Who's doing that?
Unfortunately, that's me.
What is
Oh
that?
dear.
Hey, I saw this. I saw this thing on Two Ferns. It was a cut, and I can't remember who was being interviewed. But I think you like this joke, Sam. I don't know. You probably know the punchline. But what happens when a Jewish man runs in with an erection into a wall?
He breaks his nose.
There you go. All right, there we go. But I've never heard that one before. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Who told that one? Arafat?
No.
Oh.
It was guy. Who's the guy from? He plays Ant-Man.
Oh, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Self-hating Jew. Oh, by the way, something that really warmed my heart. They had a big menorah lighting in suburban New York, and these 10 guys come up and they go, "You're nothing but nihilists. You massacred all these people. You Jews are." And 2 of the Jewish guys beat the shit out of them.
Yes, thank God. Oh my God.
Exactly. And I
There
said
you
the only problem was that you left them alive.
You see that's how I felt last week at the Whole Foods when the rolling cliche pulled up right next to me with the Palestinian flags and the Free Palestine and the artificially colored hair and weighing about 325 pounds and comes emerging. Normally that's exactly what I'm looking for, I mean, but then and of course the she, he, they, it was getting out of there to go into Whole Foods. And it's like, so you got all the anti-capitalist, pro-communism, hate Israel regalia, and you're going into a business that's owned by the largest business on planet Earth, right? You know that? I just had to walk away because otherwise I just, end up in a situation where I get into like a blind rage and I wake up a day and a half later and I'm covered with dirt because I had to dig a grave, and I'm trying to explain where I've been for the past few days, and I'm making sure that I don't leave any DNA behind.
Well, there was a guy here in New
work.
York who was arrested, and he went before the judge, and when the judge found out what the charge was, the judge started laughing and said to the guy, "You can go home." Here's what happened. Somebody wrote "Free Palestine" on a store window.
Oh dear.
And the guy wrote beneath it, the guy who was in court, it said "Free Palestine." He wrote beneath it, "Win valuable prizes." And so they went before the judge, and he went, "Oh, you're go home." So the prosecutor goes, "What about community service?" He goes, That was a community service.
Hey, you know,
Well, that'll
you had
show
to-
you, Judge Bernstein.
I know you don't much like Republicans, but you had to handle it to that broad from New York who pinned back the ears
Stefanik?
of yes. When look, just real simple questions. You know, if we do this, does it mean that is that a violation? And I say good for her. It's
Well, you know
about damn
something?
time.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day, and she's, she got it right.
Yes.
And by the way, I will never understand the presidents of those schools. The answer was so simple. So
Well,
simple.
That is the thing, though. Sam, you and I might have different political sort of, but by and large, our Venn diagrams actually merge more than they don't.
Well, no, it's just that it's
I mean,
that sounds so sexy.
Oh, get
I
a
know
room,
it
you
does.
two.
I'm glad I'm only shooting from the neck. Yeah, exactly. But my point being is that I've always been able to get along with people who were on the other side of the aisle when we're talking about, this much, basically, buy more butter, less guns, that kind of. We can come to a number. We can figure this out. Even Nixon said sometimes you have to forget politics and just do the right thing.
Well, the idea to me is that, if something is so logically correct, then people who argue it are just arguing it because they have nothing else to do.
Well, and the thing is, nowadays it's a religion. It's politics as religion. If your opponent is on the other side, well, then they're not wrong; they're evil, and there's just too much of that. I mean,
the
there's
dumbest
way too
thing
much
I've heard in a not dumbest, but the "Oh my God" line was, somebody asked Trump, "What did he think of Vivek Ramaswamy?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Well, I like him." And he said, "What? Well, why do you like him?" Because he thinks I'm great.
What else could he say? That's exactly what he's going to say.
He could have said, "I think he's bright. I think he's a true Republican." He could have said anything but that.
You're never
And to my knowledge, I don't know if Vivek Ramaswamy. I just like saying the name. If he actually thinks he's great, but Trump lies a lot, so he could have made that up. But Vivek Ramaswamy, to me, when I watch these idiots, these MAGA idiots who say things like, well, the whole country's being run by Obama in a basement. I think, you idiot. He lives in a $5 million mansion. Why is he going into a basement? Just use logic.
He's running it from the upstairs. Yeah, in between hiring new pastry
from the
chefs,
anteroom. So, but here's the thing that kills me is that Vivek Ramaswamy the other day said that January 6th was an inside job. I said, "Oh, so Mike Pence was begging to be hanged." Oh, okay, I didn't get it.
Well, no, I think Mike Pence was saying that he was hung. He was talking with Lindsey Graham, and
the thing that always made me, in a very perverted way, is there any other way? To like Mike Pence, was that I won't have dinner with any woman unless my wife is present.
Right. But he'll do Human Centipede with Mitch McConnell.
But here's the part I like. I don't know if you know this. When Trump was declared the winner of the 2016 election, do you know what Pence's wife said to him? "Are you happy now? Now you're happy? You got what you want?" Because she didn't want him to run.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want him to be around Trump.
Why do you think Colin Powell did not become president in 1996 or did not run? I mean, because there was a big movement. And that was because Mrs. Colin Powell said, no, the country's not ready.
She said somewhere somebody has got a bullet with your name on it.
Pretty much. That was it. And it's a pity because Colin Powell, I think, would have been he turned out to be a pretty good
Secretary of State.
Except when he told the United Nations that
and he sees
Iraq
that as a blight.
Iraq had weapons of
and
mass
he sees
destruction.
that as a
You're
blot
right, but he went with the information he was given. Unfortunately, he was given that information by Dick Cheney.
Yeah,
and he's a soldier. He did as he was told.
And Don Rumsfeld.
Yeah.
By the way, no one is luckier in public life to me than Don Rumsfeld. If you look at his record, he served in the military. When did he serve in the military? from 1954 to 1957,
There
the
you
only
go.
3 years that the United States was not involved in a war.
Yep.
Oh, that is lucky.
Yeah,
Hey, did you hear that the MAGA crowd is upset with Mike Johnson now?
Well, of course
Why?
they are.
Because of what he said about blurring the pictures.
What
Because
pictures?
the pictures from
Oh,
January
the pictures
6th.
of the rioters?
Yeah, because he said he didn't want the Department of Justice persecuting them. Well, this goes exactly against their theory that this was all government agents and Antifa and Black Lives Matters that staged this thing. If they staged it, wouldn't you want all those people to be arrested?
And by the way, if Black Lives Matter staged it, how come there are no black lives at the goddamn riot?
Good. Hey, they are the best at disguise. They are so good. They are so good at code switching, they can change their skin color.
You know why? It's the Westmore makeup family that got them together. If I can drop a name.
Oh, and Susan's poem today was Tuberville. Tuberville dropped his boycott against
that insane blockage of
Yeah.
So he finally did?
Although,
yeah, he
speaking
finally
of
dropped his
insane,
block. What's that?
I've been saying, what about the NFL coach who invoked the 9/11 hijackers as an example
McDermott.
of teamwork? I'm like, okay, I
McDermott,
understand you,
the Buffalo Bills coach.
You know, sometimes it happens, you know, but oh boy, that does go beyond the whole. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
I don't expect football coaches to be at late for a Mensa meeting.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. I had a coach when I was in the 8th grade. My foot got cleated because that was the first year we were allowed to wear metal cleats, and and I'm bleeding. My toe knuckle is bleeding.
Right.
And so I said, Coach, I got to come out. I'm bleeding. He goes, what's wrong? I show him my foot. He goes, does it hurt? And I said, yeah. So he punches me in the gut and he goes, now what hurts?
Wow. It's funny you
There's
should.
my football coach story right there.
There was
Nice guy.
There was a picture of a guy in Life magazine, and it shows a high school player in Texas, and it shows his calf, which is bleeding, and he's and he says to the coach, I got to come out of the game, and he says, why? He says, well, look at my calf. He goes, that's 3 feet from your heart. You're not dead. Get your ass up there. Yeah, it's that kind of anatomical genius.
God,
that's 3 feet from your heart. You know, Texas red shirts high school athletes.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Oh, so they can have so they can play past graduation?
No, because they can't read now, so they just want to give them a chance.
That's funny.
There was a sign on in DC at one of the public service announcements things you see on buses, and it was supposed to tell kids stay in school, and it reads, "I quit school when I was 16," and somebody wrote beneath it, "and now I are rich."
I tell you what, I've been in a Texas high school football stadium before. That state is football crazy.
Beyond anything any of us know.
When you have stadiums for high school teams, that's just
30,000 seats.
Yeah.
I've been a Texas football player, but never mind that.
And by the way, let me say this about the cheerleaders.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely. New York City is hiring for night. Oh, God damn it, they missed it. What is this? New York is hiring 2 night auditors. Oh, yeah, if I want to work at a hotel. Oh, sure I do. As a night auditor. You know what a night auditor is? That's the guy who's at the desk at 3 a.m. when a couple comes in drunk goes, "You got a room?" Yes, we do. It's out back.
Yeah.
And by the way, listen, Jason, you were wrong. Republican, the MAGA people aren't mad at Mike Johnson. There's one gay guy. He's worried at Mike's Johnson.
Free George Santos. Free George Santos.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming by tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time for Wesley Partridge. Come on back next week. We'll get your opinions next week. So. But
stick around for the end because Wesley's going to badmouth everybody who ever listens to the show.
That'll be after we go off the air.
That's right.
So every Monday night at 8 o'clock, And with the internet now, I do the show coast to coast, no matter where I am. So we're Monday night Eastern time. That'll be 5 o'clock Pacific time. At the usual cadre. I'm thinking of changing the name of the show to Geezers because we don't have anyone under 60. So. but you're welcome to join us. Contact me if you'd like to be on the show sometime. We talk about comedy. We talk about sports. We talk about current events. We sit around and shoot the shit like we did in the old days. The off night, every Monday night. Thanks for joining us. Stick around after the show, fellas. I'm going to wrap it up. See you next week.
There's a Spider-Man dinosaur at Walmart.
You just